Hey, Coach Miller here with BTB Lax. I'm in the BTB Lax studio. We're going to do a film breakdown of the UMass Army game played last weekend. Army was ranked number 8 in the country. UMass was unranked, but it was an awesome game. So let's dig into it. All right, here we go. First play here. We got a tie game. First quarter just about started here. We're going to see a nice top side dodge here for a goal. So here we have a shorty on a shorty. He's taking advantage of this matchup by going top side. For a nice overhand. Good shot. Next clip here, we're going to look at a failed clear. UMass trying to clear the ball. Probably should have been caught. So here, Army's not putting too much pressure on. He gets a little soft pass over the top. Actually, you can see that Army defender gets a stick on it. So let's see here where else. He doesn't need to make that throw, actually. From there, he can probably still, those two guys are attackmen. He can probably just run it over as opposed to trying to drop it in there. But we'll see what happens with these failed clears. Army gets it back right away. They push. So then right here, we have a 3-on-2 situation. Two UMass guys, 3 Army guys. And he actually hits the trailing defender, the trailing midfielder there, which is a good look. And a nice, you can see a nice overhand lefty shot. Taking advantage of a failed clear results in a goal. All right, next clip here, we have UMass has the ball. UMass's big midi is Breo. He's number 17. He's from Atlanta, actually. We can see he's carrying it, gets it to X. And let's take a look at this feed and shot right here before we go into they end up scoring. Look at this feed. We see that, that defender's on him. But he still goes right in there. You can see the Army guy trying to get it, and he turns and shoots quick with almost an unbelievable catch and throw, with a catch and score there. But what we'll see here, what happens is UMass gets the backup. Breo picks it up. You can see there's a little bit of a pick right here. And you can see that Army's not too organized defensively because there's no other defender on 7. He's up here playing help. Whereas if he was guarding back there with that pick, he might have been able to hedge it somewhat. And then Breo, you can see, has that step on him, right? Even he's a step ahead of him at GLE. Gets that 5-on-5 spot, which we call the money spot at BTB Lax, and for the goal. He had 3 goals on the day. All right, next clip here, I want to talk about the All-American senior goalie for UMass, Matt Note. He had 11 saves in the first half, and here you can see, and that shot was high to high. You could see Note kind of saw it the whole time, but he still made so many saves, kept him in it in the first half. As we'll see as we progress through this game, Army could have pulled away with it a little bit more, but then he gave UMass the chance to get into its second half, actually take the lead, which we'll dive into, but just wanted to point out how many big saves Note had in the first half. And you can even see another kick save right there. He was saving with all parts of his body in the first half. All right, next clip here, I want to take a look at some defensemen. For all you defensemen out there looking to get better stick skills, this is the type of stuff that you need to be able to do, is pick the ball up under pressure. Look at how clean, we like to call them first-time ground balls. Picks it up, dips it, boom, up the field. Just a good example of picking up ground balls. And just I think that was another save. Yep, another save by Note there, bailing them out. All right, next clip here. So UMass is up 2-1. Army's got the ball. We kind of see it's like a little bit of a dummy pick. He doesn't really use it. The defender's doing a good job here of slagging off. So he doesn't really use that pick much, but then you're going to see, just it goes to show you down here, take a look how little space he needs. I mean, he just pops up a little bit to catch this pass. Just pops up, puts a stick up, catches that pass. The defender's not in a horrible position. Then we see that nice little toe drag, gets to the inside, comes back around, score. So that's Jacob Morin right there, and he had a big game with 3 goals. He's a big kid. He's like 6'2", 215. So, I mean, that's a great goal. So here we have another angle here. Gets that low, comes back around, and then finishes. It kind of even looks like he's going to go down low, but then he stays up high with that shot for the goal. So we have 30 seconds left, tie game. Let's see what UMass draws up here. We have an invert set, so a shorty took the short stick defender behind the cage. See if you can find something here. Ideally, you try to get that guy caught up. And you see the cutters up top flashing, and didn't get up high enough because he shot just to the outside of the net. So we end up the first quarter 2-2. All right, so after the first quarter, we're tied at 2-2. Let's dive back in, see what goes down in the second quarter here. All right, here's a pretty cool angle. We see this is Army's 3rd goal. So you got the midi driving up top on the pole. Little stutter step in. I love how his stick head's high, ready to shoot. Catches it. Pulls the trigger right away. So that puts them up 3-2. All right, next clip here. UMass has the ball. Solid possession here. They're working around the perimeter. What do you see? This little cross-hand shot here. So we got a dodge, take him to the middle, come back down the alley. And he gets a little cross-handed shot there, so he doesn't have the best angle. He's getting a little deeper. That D-Middy's doing a good job riding his hip. And he tries to cross-hand, kind of bring that stick across his body to get a peek. Sometimes that goes in. So, I mean, all right, next clip here. Army's got the ball off the end line. So, I mean, pretty much every time with most of these college teams and high school teams, you see some sort of a guy coming over here to set up pick. And then it's going to be these two defenders' job to communicate what's going to happen through that pick. UMass must be told to stay above GLE there and not hedge any picks. A hedge of a pick would be, say this defender comes down to here and then shows there to slow down that offensive player coming off the pick. But there, it looks like UMass is coached to stay above GLE. But then you would think they would have some sort of slide here, because even if he pulls the corner, there's nobody going. And he's got his hands free. And you could see he's looking for Jackson Ecker up top. With a nice feed. He kind of knew he was there. Big, and the defender, you can see this defender falls down. And he's got a big righty shot, time and room. Gets his hands back, unloads it, off hip shot. That's where you want to shoot it. Here's another look at it. Yep, off hip shot. It's got some good velocity on it. Next clip here, let's take a look at an awesome save by our UMass goalie, Note. He comes around that corner, gets his hands free. You can see how he gets his shoulder up there, just gets a great save there. UMass gets the ball back. All right, next clip here, we have Army clearing the ball. They're up 4-2. Working it through X. Offensively, they're not doing anything crazy. You can see up here there's going to be 2 cutting middies coming down. And as those 2 cutting middies come down, I think it's Burek. pops up to this corner right in there. And this is a good example of a time room shot. I mean, it's a feed. The feed that ideally you'd like to have that feed like right up by his head, but it does a good job of catching it at his feet, still getting the stick back. Another great save by Note. All right, next possession here. It looks like UMass has gone into a zone. But here the ball, they pick the ball up, the transition. This is a hell of a shot. So he's probably about 15 yards. And we can kind of see here with a good slow motion. See, he's getting that crow hop in. He's getting the hands back, turning the shoulder, and firing through. Nice low to high shot. So next clip here, Army's got the ball. Burek, he's feeling it right now. He just scored that goal that I showed you. So you can see he sets that little pick, and he kind of just stands there after the pick, but just kind of steps back a tad. With this guy, you know he's looking to shoot, so this guy's going to be, the UMass defender's got to be up on his hands a little bit more. But he gets his hands back, and you can see, like right here, it just hits the top shot, hits the top crossbar. It was almost another goal right there. Next clip here, let's take a look at a UMass clear. So here you see that Army's, they're not pressing the rise, so they're all kind of up near the midfield line. And a lot of teams in college these days do this where there's the goalie and then a defender parallel on that same line. And then the rest of the players are up north. So here you can kind of see as he's coming this way, 13 here's letting the far guy know that he's going over. So that's going to require him to stay on sides. So he's going. But at the same time, what happens here is this attackman comes up to help, clears it, gets in there at space. So then the goalie has a couple options there. So next clip here, UMass they just cleared the ball. It's that same possession. They need something here. They haven't scored a goal this quarter. So Braille's got the ball. Braille's their big man. He had 3 goals. Should have had an assist here. So he's trying to cross that. So a lot of times what you're going to see these coaches telling you is they want the D-mids to keep them on that side of the field, because once you let the offensive midi cross, it disrupts the slide package. So here, Braille's coming over, drawing the slide. There's no 2 slide here. Leaves this guy open right on the crease. So Braille dumps it in there, and it's just a great save by the Army goalie. Next clip here, just want to look at this situation here. So there's a scrum. Army picks the ball up. A pull pass. Now they're off and running. You can see all these. There's 3 UMass guys, actually 4 UMass guys way there in the corner deep. They get the ball up, so you're going to suspect that Army gets some sort of a unsettled man-up situation here. So here, right here, we have 3 Army guys. 5. 6. So 6 Army guys on 4 UMass guys. So look to try to find some sort of a layup opportunity. And ideally, you would want this defender to pass the ball as opposed to taking that shot. But they scored 3 goals in a row. The Army defense plays pretty aggressive. But looking back on this tape, I'm sure the coaches were telling him to pass the ball to try to get some sort of a layup opportunity so they could get that 6th goal. So what we'll see next year is Army had the chance to go out 4. They didn't with that save. UMass gets the ball back. 2 minutes left in the half. So a lot of, situations back here where there's going to be some sort of a pick. This guy's a lefty. This attack was a lefty, but he's going to his right hand. So I'm sure on the scouting report, they're like, yeah, force him to his right, force him to his right. But here he goes to his right hand with a great, keeps in his right his whole time, gets a dip and dunk, goal. Big goal for UMass, their first goal of the quarter. So we had a 5-3 game at halftime. UMass had 11 saves, whereas Army had 4, but Army won the face-off battle. They had 7, where UMass had 3. So let's dive into the second half here, check out some clips, and see what happens. It becomes a really, really good game. So here we go here. UMass initiated a lot of offense from this high wing dodge. So you can see he's trying to get top side there. So they play a lot of two-man games with these folks. And they're pressuring these defenders to try to draw. Here you can see he's trying to draw this defender over to provide a little bit of a window. And he gets it. And you can see he's catching the ball with his hands up, ready to catch. And as he's catching it, he's crow hopping into that shot for a big goal for UMass. 5-4. So next clip here, we almost have a little bit of momentum here. We get a fast break off the face-off. Not a bad take, but UMass gets it. All right, next clip here, let's take a look at this. So we get a shot with Army backing it up. So here we have another clear situation. It's so important to clear the ball. Let's take a look at the clear. So the initial setup, you see, like I said, a lot of these college teams have 2 guys back on the same line, everybody else up. So there's those guys that we can see. So here, this pass might be a little bit of a force, seeing that if he's going to throw this pass, it needs to be over because you have these 2 UMass defenders right there. So it was a little at his feet. He couldn't handle it. UMass gets it back. Let's see what happens here. Boom. Failed clears more often than not can lead to goals. Like turnovers in basketball, you want to eliminate those as much as possible. So find the easy pass, make those passes, get the ball over in the offensive end so you can limit those turnovers, which ultimately usually lead to goals. All right, next clip here. I want to point out a new rule scenario. So you can see they're battling for the face-off. His helmet comes off. So a lot of these players are, not having their helmets strapped on properly, so they changed the rules now. So if the helmet comes off, you have to immediately run off the field. It's like if your stick breaks. But then if it happens again, if it happens twice, then there's going to be a penalty. So if you're a coach out there coaching these teams, make sure that your players have their helmets on tight so you can avoid any type of unsettled or penalty situation. All right, next clip here. UMass has the ball. Starts with a wing, takes it back into an invert situation, which we talked about. They've been doing this all day. So I like that little roll there. He keeps on to the ball. And then 16, you got to love him having that high stick. Show him that he's a target. Catches it. Good save by the goalie there. I mean, he's time and room. Good save by the goalie. So this is Army's 6th goal. A little bit of commotion out there. Burek gets the ball. Open opportunity, goal. Next clip here. Let's take a look at UMass's 6th goal here. So they're possessing the ball. What do you see? This flip pass. So you see this, a lot of 2-man game. So these 2 players, so you basically have a 2-on-2 over here where the rest of the 4 guys are over there. So you never really know if they're going to pick or what they're going to do. But they just he gets a space. You can kind of see that he just flips it back for a great shot and goal. Look at this flip. He's going. He sees it. He sees he's got a space because he drew that guy. So he drew. And he just flips it back. He's got his hands back. Fires. Goal. 6-6. All right, next clip here. So UMass, we got on a 2-goal run. They're getting the ball. Settling offense, got a hard wing dodge down the side. You can see the guy almost falls over, but he saves himself with his hand. And this trailing midfielder up top is just open. We have, if you can see here, we have 3 Army defensemen kind of ball watching, seeing what's going on, and then great eyes head up by the assist guy for a hard overhand shot. So we got UMass going up 3 goals. Here's another great angle. He falls. And, I mean, that guy is sliding hard, too. He's on his hands, and he's still getting that feed off. That was a great play by 16 for UMass. All right, next play here. So Army's getting their guys on the field, working the ball around the perimeter. This midi right here, he's going to go set the pick at X, so we'll just follow him. He kind of set like a token, like kind of phantom pick, and that allowed UMass to get hung up here. So now Army's got a free look at it. And once he finds that step, he can go and just get a great goal, wraparound goal. Here we have a good angle with it. Great wraparound goal. Backhanding it up. Stays out of the crease. 10-8. So kind of a similar situation here. UMass gets hung up again. Just kind of playing games. Army is. And they're able to give Army an opportunity here. So here, instead of going around for that dunk, which he had earlier, he's got a great feed off this cut. You know, you see Army sends 2 guys on the ball side down while the 3rd guy goes back pipe. And look at that behind the back pass. Look at that behind the back shot. Catch. Boom. All you aspiring goal scorers out there, definitely don't neglect working on that behind the back shot. It definitely comes in hand all the time, as you can see by that goal that we just saw. So next clip here, we have pretty shortly thereafter, we have a transition off a face-off. So we'll watch this play out, and it goes, he makes an awesome pass to a pole. Pole catches it and finishes it. So Army scores 3 goals quickly to tie the game at 10. We love when we see these long poles getting involved in the offensive end, catching the ball, getting some momentum for their team. All right, next clip here, UMass is man up. They're basically in a 2-3-1 set from up top. It's 10-10. Let's see what they draw up. Still working the perimeter, a little bit of player movement. Trying to get that rotation, the defense, and the skip pass. That was actually a really good look. So let's walk this through. So here we see 99 is going to cut down. As 99 cuts down, this wing offensive player is going to curl up. Creating a little bit of, basically always wanted the defense to have their head on a swivel. And then we have drawn pressure here, and he's looking for that skip pass. Skip passes are huge in man up. Skip pass over the top. And he catches it loaded, and he probably has about an 8-yard shot. That's the look that you're looking for. I think it might have just... So the goalie got a piece of it. Good save. So next clip here, we have 3 behind the cage. I mean, that's not bad D either. I mean, he's there pushing him out. That's just a sustained dodge, getting that inside roll. Like to maybe see the slide get there. Does a great job staying out of the crease. That's a great goal. All right, next clip here, we have UMass. So let's look at the situation here. Army's scored 4 unanswered goals to take a 1-goal lead. So we'd like to see a good possession here. Still be aggressive. And this is just kind of a force. So here we don't have anything. We do a good job of keeping possession of the ball. We get it to X, but instead of just maybe reorganizing, tries to get a feed right there to the crease, but it's a bad pass. Ends up being a turnover. Army gets the ball back. That's costly, especially when you need a little bit of momentum. You need to get a good shot. All right, so game's winding down here. Army's man up. They're up by 1. Let's see what they do. They actually do 2 hidden ball tricks behind the cage. So we'll take a look. So you're going to see hidden ball trick here where they kind of create some confusion on who might have the ball. With that being said, I mean, he got a great catch, and I don't think that was a save, but it might have been. Or maybe he just shot it wide. But Army gets the ball back on the backup, and they do the same thing again. Army gets the ball on the backup, and they do the same thing again with another hidden ball trick. So now they go the other way with it. And that's a pretty good look, just a little high and right. We left it at Army up by 2. They hang on to win the game. This is the opening game for both teams. A lot of good play here for an opening game. We saw Army had a bunch of turnovers in the second quarter. UMass's goalie played unbelievable. There was a lot of high wing dodges from both sides. So you can see that. A lot of invert, a lot of picks from behind at X, a lot of disguise picks from behind at X. But anyway, I'll be doing more of these videos. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment. Like it, please. And also, I have a free 3-part training series on lacrosse shooting. Just go ahead and click the link in the description of this video, and I'll send it right over. Until next week, talk soon. Coach Miller.